Hello, and welcome to episode 1 of the Trilogy Yarns podcast. My name is Nancy Olfs, and I am the dyer behind Trilogy Yarns. You can find me on Instagram at Trilogy Yarns. Facebook is Trilogy Yarns, and the podcast is trilogyyarn.com. I'll have all that information linked down below. Several of you may know me from a podcast that I do with Kathleen Cubley called On the Needles. So Kathleen and I get together and try to podcast when we can. Unfortunately, life has just kind of gotten in the way, and I thought I would just branch out and do one on my own. But I still will be there with On the Needles if and when we can get our schedules coordinated. So that being said, welcome. I would like to say welcome to all new viewers, but since this is episode 1, everybody is a new viewer. Bear with me. It's a little bit nerve-wracking doing this on your own. I don't know how other podcasters do it. I had no problems doing it with Kathleen because we could feed off each other. But I'm going solo, so any and all comments and criticisms will be greatly appreciated. Just be kind. So let's just jump right into it. So I'm going to show some finished objects. And these are objects that I have recently finished. I'm going to say within the last month, maybe the last 6 weeks. The first one is socks. I always have a pair of socks on the go. To me, socks are a very portable project. They're great for in your car. You carry them in your purse. So these are just shorty socks, and I've got to find out where the camera is here, so bear with me. This is done on Trilogy Yarns Poison colorway. This is done on my Glamorous base, which is an 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. My sock recipe is I cast on with Judy's Magic Cast On. I cast on 12 stitches. Increase every other row until I get to 64 stitches. I do the foot. I do the Fish Lips Kiss Heel. That seems to be the one that I like the best. And then on this sock, I just knit after the heel. I knit for about another 1.5 inches before I just did a bind off. I didn't do any ribbing. The cuff just kind of gently rolls, and these stay on my foot very good. So I have a new pair of socks that I can put in my sock drawer, which actually my sock drawer is pretty full, so I throw a bunch in the gift box. Something else that I finished was the DRK Everyday Sweater by Andrea Mowry. This is, sorry, it's been in my sample box because I was doing it for truck shows, showing it. But this is knit on my sport base. Oh my God, it really is wrinkled. Sorry. Sport base in the colorway Baby Oh Baby. It is a yoked sweater with just some short row increases. Very, very simple. What I really liked about this, and I'm going to see if you can get some detail, is the rib. It's almost like a cabled rib. So the rib detail was really kind of fun. Okay, gotta find the camera. There we go. So there is the rib detail. Just a really fun cabled rib. Just a mindless knit. Just short row increases for the yoke, and then just knitting around. I actually made mine probably a couple inches longer than the pattern called for. It is a cropped sweater, but I don't do cropped. Not too cropped anyway. So I have that one, and then the other thing that I finished was the Escher Hat, and I'm going to have all these patterns linked down below. This is a DK weight colorwork hat. I did this one in my in Trilogy Yarns. Eggplant is the deeper purple, and Timberwolf is the light gray. This was just a real fun colorwork hat. It's got the rolled brim, and I actually tacked the brim down. I just wanted to make sure that it stayed up. And then I just did a pom-pom using both colors. So being as how this is a stranded color work hat, it's nice and warm, especially when it's folded up at the brim. So great for winter time. And I may not have said, I live in Spokane, Washington, and we get winters up here. So this will be great for when I have to go out and push the snow blower. Yeah. So Escher Hat. So those are the three objects that I have finished in the last month or so. I do want to show a couple other objects. Lucy, the gal that works part-time for me at Trilogy Yarns helping me dye, has knit a couple samples for me. This one is the combinatorics, and if you have watched me on the Needles podcast, you know that we're doing a knit along for the combinatorics, and I did pull winners for that, and so I'm pulling this from my head now, so bear with me. The Ravelry winner was Beth, I don't remember your last name. I did post it on Ravelry, and I've reached out to her and let her know. And then our Instagram winner was Professor Pearl. So both of those two winners are each receiving a Trilogy Yarns Christmas Advent as a prize. So it was a great prize. All of you that participated in the knit along, all your shawls were gorgeous. I hope that you enjoyed knitting them as much as we do. But anyway, here is Lucy's combinatoric, and she knit the large size also. I think she did a little more aggressive blocking than I did. Hers is pretty big. And Lucy used Trilogy yarns in my Silky Singles base. So the darker color here is Embers, and then the orange color is Melon. And so the Silky Singles, it is a single ply, 70% merino, 30% silk, mulberry silk. So it's gorgeous for shawls. I'm actually doing a summer tea out of it that I'll show you later when we get to my whips. But it's just a nice drapey single ply, because I said it's a single ply. It has nice drape, and it's got that mulberry silk that gives it that little bit of sheen. So there's that one, and then another one, and this one I actually have some kits in the shop for. This is the Color Drops cowl by Susanna Lobos Designs, and this one was knit out of my plush base. This color is Koi, and the solid red is Cabernet. So this is just a really fun 2 skein project. The Color Drops cowl, and like I say, I do have some kits in the shop, and the kits do include a pattern with a Ravelry download code. So if you have access to Ravelry or use Ravelry, you can enter in the download code, and it'll store the pattern into your library, so you can keep it and use it that way. So I think that is it for finished objects. So shall we hop on to whips and coffee? This is my 3rd cup of the day, so if I start really talking fast at the end of the episode, I apologize. I am usually a 2-cup person, but it's rainy and dark here today, and it's a coffee kind of day. So I do have my 3rd cup. So my first whip, and I'm going to slip it on, is a sock, of course. So this is just my vanilla sock again, with my Judy's Magic cast on. This one, unfortunately, is no longer attached to the skein of yarn. I think that the cats wanted to try knitting one night, and the best way for them to do that is to break the yarn. So I am just about ready to do my rib. On this one, I do a 2x2 rib. I do about 12 rows of ribbing. Judy's Magic Cast On, Fish Lips Kiss Heel. This colorway is the full skein colorway in last year's Christmas Advent. The theme last year was Christmas Vacation. So the name of this colorway is Christmas Vacation. Yeah, and then I have my locking stitch markers so that I count every 10 rows. So I make sure that my socks are both the same size. So 1 vanilla sock on the needles. I also have, and this is my social knitting, cast on the the poncho from Church Mouse Yarns. And it is just Easy Folded Poncho by Church Mouse Yarns. So if you have done this one, it's like 50 inches of stockinette. So you do a provisional cast on. So there's my cast on. So I have this much, and this much, and this much. I haven't measured it yet, but I probably have 40 inches maybe. So it's 50 inches of stockinette, and then you do a, when you bind it off, you'll bind off with your cast on edge, I think. You know, I haven't read the pattern. I guess I shouldn't speak because I don't want to tell you untruths. It is a paid for pattern. But so you'll sew it up and leave an opening for your neck. And then you can also pick up and do a cowl neck on the poncho, or you can just leave it plain. So I haven't decided yet what kind of neckline I'm going to do on mine. Sorry for the needles hitting the desk. I think I'll wait and see. I'm making this for Rhinebeck because the plan this year is to go to Rhinebeck. Plans are subject to change depending on what's happening in the world, but hopefully things will be okay, and I'm vaxxed and boosted, so I'm hoping to go. A bunch of us are going from my Thursday night Zoom class, and some of us have never met, although we have Zoomed together for over 2 years, and it's just going to be like meeting old friends. We do have a place booked. Actually, we have more than one because we're not quite sure yet. But we have a place booked, and hopefully I'll be there. The yarn I'm using for this is DK weight, and I'm using my Merino Cashmere Nylon DK in the colorway Timberwolf. I thought it would just be a nice neutral color that I can throw on if it's cold at Rhinebeck. If it's not cold, I can take it off and drape it over my arm, because you never know what's going to happen at Rhinebeck. The third project, and I'm a pretty monogamous knitter. I find I get more done if I have more than 3, sometimes 4 projects on the needles. I get kind of nervous. So I only have 3 going right now: the sock, the poncho, and then I'm doing a sweater. And I'm going to see if you can see that. This is the Sunday Tea by Petite Knits. Let's see if we can do that. So it's just very basic. It has a ribbed yoke, short sleeves, just a really nice sweater. It's got a very interesting detail on the neckline. It is a rolled hem on the neckline. It was a provisional cast. Was it a provisional? There again, I'm talking before I know for sure. It does have rolled hem on the sleeves and the body of the sweater. So very simple. Looking at some of the projects in Ravelry, I really like the way that it looked on people. Everyone said it was a fun knit, but I really wanted a striped sweater. So I decided to do one and stripe it. So there's the neck. And this, seriously, the neck was done on a size 0 needle. And Yeah, it was crazy. And now the body is being done on a size 2, a US 2 needle. So I am just about done with the rib section. I think I have just maybe another half an inch to go, and I'll be able to split for the seams, split for the sleeves. See, I need Kathleen here to correct my words. And then it just goes into a stockinette. So your yoke increases are incorporated into the ribbing, and I'm not sure. I think I'm almost 90% positive I'm going to carry the stripe down through the stockinette part of the body. I'm really loving the stripe and just something a little different. So I think that's what I'm going to do. But comment below if you think I should just go with the plain purple and not do the stripe. The yarns that I'm using, the purple, the deep purple, is once again my silky single. So it's the single ply merino silk. And this is on my royalty colorway. And then I'm doing Siri alpaca for my stripes. And this is Maggot Museum. So those are the two colors I'm using. And it's so much fun. So this also will be a Rhinebeck sweater. And this will be a short sleeve, so I could wear the poncho over this if it was cold. But I think I'll also do a long sleeved sweater because I think I have time. And now I have Siri in my eye. I think I'll have time. And you just, like I say, you just never know. And you can never have too many wardrobe changes when you go on a trip, right? So, yeah, that's it for finished objects and works in progress. I do have a new acquisition. I think it was last weekend. My weeks are starting to run together. Last weekend, I was over in Auburn, Washington, at a little Nitty for they do like a little mini crawl, and it happened to coordinate this year with LYS Day, so that was really fun. So I was over there for a couple days doing a trunk show. And if you've not been into a little Nitty in Auburn, Jen is just a beautiful person inside and out, and a great shop. So I recommend you go check her out if you're ever in Auburn. I have done 3 or 4 trunk shows there, and every time I go, I look at this one thing and I keep thinking I need to have it, and then I always leave and forget it. So this year, alpaca, this year I purchased it, and it says, in case of emergency, break glass, and it's like a little shadow box. And I am going to put skeins of yarn in this, and I'm going to put it in my office. Or M&Ms. Maybe both. But I just think this is so cute. So I think that I probably will put skeins of yarn because I don't want to break the glass if I need some chocolate. Not cute, though. So this is my only acquisition lately, but it's a good one. All right. Wow, I must be talking really fast because this isn't lasting very long. Anyway, so as I said at the beginning of the podcast, I am Trilogy Yarns, and so I thought I would talk a little bit about my shop. I don't want to talk too much, but there will be shop news on every podcast. So if you're here just for the knitting, thank you for staying. If you're here for shop news, let's get into it. I did talk about the Color Drops cowl, that I have those kits in the shop. Another kit I have in the shop is the super simple cowl. And this is done with my Pride minis. So it's just 6 of my Pride minis. It has a cute little slip stitch design where the colors join, and then just a neutral rib at the top and the bottom. And I do have these in the shop. I think they're $33. I should have checked. I think they're $33. And so you get the pattern, you get the mini skein kit, and you do get the extra mini skein for your top and bottom. And Pride Month is coming up next month, although hopefully where you live, you're not in a cold area that you will need to have a Pride cowl, but you never know. The weather is crazy. So I do have that in the shop. I am going to be closing the pre-orders for the Christmas in July Advent. I will probably close those at the end of May. And so with that Advent, you have a choice of a 15-day or a 30-day mini skein Advent. And with both of those, you will receive a full 100-gram skein. This will be done on my Glamorous base, which is an 80% superwash merino and a 20% nylon. So those pre-orders will be open until the end of May. On the subject of Advents, I do have my Halloween Advent is still up. And the theme this year is Hocus Pocus 2. I did Hocus Pocus a couple of years ago, and it was really fun. So Hocus Pocus 2 is the theme for this year's Advent. And on that one, you receive 14. Oh my gosh. 14 mini skeins and a full skein for day 15. So and that is, I think that one is on my plush base, my merino cashmere nylon base. All the details are on the website, but on that one you can open up days 1 through 14 in October and your full skein on day 15. Some people will do one every other day, and then the full skein on the 31st. And some people go from days 21 through 30. They'll do mini skeins and the full skein on the 31st. There's no rhyme or reason how you want to do that one, but those ones are available in the shop, and that pre-order will be open for a while. And then I also have my Holiday Advent. Still have Sari there. Holiday Advent. And on that one is 24 mini skeins, full skein for day 25. This year's Holiday Advent will include a beautiful drawstring bag from Joanna at Stitch in the High Notes. If you're not familiar with her, she is a beautiful bag maker. So it will include the bag, and there will be pattern support for that one. As of now, there is no pattern support for that Halloween Advent, and there is not for Christmas in July. So, if you're a designer and you want to collaborate with me for the Halloween Advent, reach out to me. You can message me, probably best to DM me on Instagram, and maybe we can get a pattern out there too. So back to the Holiday Advents, I only have started with 100. I think I may only have 10 left. And I'm pretty sure once those are gone, those are gone. So we got that. Trunk shows. I'm really gearing up for trunk show season. I currently am running a trunk show at Harriet and Alice and I think it's Edina, Minnesota, which is just outside of Minneapolis. I think I'm not there. Obviously, I'm not there. Cute yarn store. I've got some friends that live there, and it's just a really fun yarn store. So that trunk show is running, and I think she's only going to run it through Mother's Day. So I am hoping to get this video uploaded. This is Friday, maybe this evening, if not tomorrow morning. So you have a couple days left to head over to Harriet and Alice, look at their yarn store. Also, next week is the Pacific Northwest Yarn Crawl over in the Seattle area. That is a crawl that runs from May 11th through May 15th. I will be at the Nifty Knitter in Issaquah all 5 days, so I'll be there for that. So if you're in the area or doing the crawl, be sure and stop by and say hi. I really enjoy meeting my viewers face to face. I met some while I was in Vogue, and it was just really fun to see you guys. I know you guys see me, but it's nice to see you guys. So I do have those trunk shows. I do have a lot more trunk shows, excuse me, just about every 2 weeks going forward till almost Christmas time. So hopefully I will podcast every 2 weeks. So I will let you know what trunk shows are going at that time. Hopefully podcast every 2 weeks. We all know that life gets in the way, but that is my plan. I am having a big sale on the website. I am really excited about some new spring colorways. So that being said, I need to discontinue and make room for new colors. So I have pulled quite a few of my old colorways, and I have put them on sale. They are on sale for $15 a skein, which, you know, is almost a steal. So those are in the shop under the sale items. But in order, because I am clearing out room, I am doing some new colors. And I'd love to show you some of the new colors I'm doing. One of the new things I'm doing is mini skein kits or gnome kits. I know a lot of you like to do gnomes. So this is my pastel, let me turn it this way and see the colors. Pastel mini skein set. There is 6 20-gram minis. This is done on my Glamorous base, which is an 80-20 superwash merino, 20% nylon. So I have these, and I will constantly be putting new colors in. So check under the mini skein section. I also have mini skein fade kits already in the shop. Those are really good if you want to do a cowl or a shawl and you're using a solid color, solid neutral color, and you want to incorporate some fading stripes. New colors. I have this big bucket here, so let's just set this up here so you can see. New colors. Bare Naked is new in the shop. Just what it says, but sometimes you want a skein of Bare Naked. Let me see. I don't think I brought any Bare Naked in Surrey. This is available on all my bases. The Surrey, the fluff, which is the mohair nylon. Mohair silk, not mohair nylon, mohair silk. I have my Glamorous base, which is an 80-20 fingering. My singles base, which is the merino silk and a fingering. My plush base, which is the merino cashmere nylon in a fingering. I have a merino cashmere nylon DK weight. I have 100% superwash merino sport, and I have 100% superwash worsted and 100% superwash merino worsted and 100% non-superwash merino worsted. So those are the bases. I do have a sparkle base. I don't routinely dye up on that, but if anybody wants anything on a sparkle base, it can be done because I do have undyed sparkle yarn. So that was Bare Naked. Another one that's new to the shop is Spring Green, and here it is on the Surrey, and this is my Glamour space also. So Spring, well, that was a fail. Spring Green, just a really light, very light pistachio, soft mint. So this is a really good spring color. So that is Spring Green. Peach Blossom. Peach Blossom is a new one this week. There again, staying with the spring theme. I'll just tuck that little guy in. So Peach Blossom is just really light pastel pinks. There's a little bit of darker pinks. There's a little bit of green in it. So that is Peach Blossom. That is available on all my bases. Another new one is Dusty Mauve. And so this is a tonal. Now, I don't do solids, I do tonals. So with tonals, you're going to get some variations in there. And this is on my plush base, which is the Merino Cashmere Nylon Fingering. Super, super soft. And on Siri, although I do have it on all my bases. This is just what I grabbed to show. Some new ones that we did yesterday. Straw. These are so new, I haven't even photographed them yet and put them in the shop. I'm going to do that while this is uploading. So this is Straw, and it's just a really soft, yellowy brown. It's just what you think straw would be. So that is Straw. This one is Dirty Mermaid. So there again, a nice tonal of some blues and teals. Just really, really saturated and nice and warm. So that's Dirty Mermaid. Whisper. Whisper is a really, really soft, not really a rose gold, pretty darn close, but it's just a real soft kind of a mauve pink. You can see the different tonals in it. So that is Whisper. So those are what's new in the shop. Other shop news, monthly clubs. I do have a couple of monthly clubs. A lot of you do the Broadway Musicals Club, which I am having so much fun dyeing. Last month's musical was Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, a really fun musical. I'm not going to tell you what next month's is. I know what it is, but I'm not going to tell you because it's a surprise. So with the Broadway Musicals Club, you do have your choice of base. It is an ongoing recurring subscription club. You have your choice of base. You will receive a full 100-gram skein. You get a picture of the playbill color that is the inspiration for the dyeing. You get a little sample of Eucalyptus wool wash. And you get another goodie. Sometimes it's a knitting tool, sometimes it's a self-care item. Just a little extra something in there. So that's the Broadway Musicals Club. That one usually ships around the 15th of the month. So depending on when you subscribe, if you subscribed like May 18th, you wouldn't receive it until June 15th because that's how I roll. Also, I have a Color Explosion mini club, and that one ships around the 1st of the month. That one is 6 20-gram minis of new fun colorways that aren't in the shop. So it's 6 20-gram minis on the Merino Cashmere Nylon base. So it's a little over, it's about 89 yards, I think, a mini. And so that one is the Color Explosion Club. I also have my Friends Club. I am getting ready to dye up this month's Friends Club. I already know the theme for it. There again, I'm not telling you. And those are based on just some iconic scenes of Friends. And so there again, I pulled a color inspiration from those scenes. So if you're a Friends fan, I think last month was Pivot. We all know Pivot. In fact, when I get into life news, I'll tell you how Pivot is going to play into things here. And then I have my Discovery of Witches Club, which is a 3-month subscription, and that is based on Deborah Harkness's book Discovery of Witches. If anybody's read the series, seen the movies, it's a pretty fun series. So those are the 4 clubs I have currently going, and I think that is it for shop news. Now we'll go on to some life events. So, Pivot. Most of you know that I am raising granddaughters. I have been raising them for way too long. I think 17 years. My daughter unexpectedly passed away 17 years ago, and she had 3 little tiny girls. And so I got custody of them because they thought I was the best one of the 2 of us that were fighting for custody. And so I've been raising them for several years. So the oldest one is moving out very soon. She was supposed to have moved out next week, but the apartment complex that she's moving into delayed it for a couple weeks. So she's on the 3rd floor. So when I think of Pivot, I'm thinking of, oh my gosh, getting that furniture up to the 3rd floor. So we are actually hiring a moving company to do it because I am not doing it. And it's sometimes, I think in life, it's just easier to write a check than to try to figure out how to do things. So the 24-year-old is finally flying the nest, and I am very excited. I love these girls dearly, but I can also love them from a distance. My second granddaughter is 22, and in 3 weeks she's graduating from college. Very, very proud of her. She is planning on going and working abroad for a year. I'm jealous that she is comfortable enough to take off by herself, go abroad, find a job, but she wants to do that for a year before she comes back and goes for her master's. So she is out of the house. She's been out of the house for 4 years while she was in college, and then she got her own place a year ago. And then my youngest, who is 20, is currently out of the house. She is living with her boyfriend and his parents. They were staying here, and it just got to be a little too much. So they are now staying with his parents. So you guys, after almost 40 years of raising little ones between my daughter and the granddaughters, I think I'm going to be an empty nester. I'm so excited. I'm going to paint. I'm going to clean. It will stay clean. But I'm totally going to be an empty nester. You know, I lost my husband. Most of you know that too. Lost my husband 4.5 years ago. So totally going to be an empty nester. So it's going to be different. It's going to be exciting. So we'll see. I may be podcasting daily if I need someone to talk to. I do have a couple cats that'll be staying here, so I can always talk to them. So I think I am going to wrap this up. So if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. Like I say, I will be coming to you every 2 weeks, give or take a day, depending if I have a trunk show to leave town for or something. And comment. All criticism, all good and bad comments will be taken in. I have pretty tough skin, so if there is something, if the sound is not right, if I say too many times, let me know. And, or if I say too many times, let me know that too. Otherwise, thanks everyone for watching. Stay safe, and we'll talk soon. All right. Bye-bye.